everyone, and welcome back to How to Play It. I'm Cora, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Friday. If you haven't already and are a little curious on how to set up this board game, I'm not going to explain how to set it up in this video, but if you go and look through our other videos, you will see that there's a whole separate video that will show you how to set up the game board, because it's a little bit confusing. And if you want to know what you can do on each turn, you can also look at our other video for what you can do on each turn in Friday. But in this video, I'm going to cover some special abilities, tips, and tricks that you can do in Friday, and how to finish up the game with your scores. Alright, so first we're going to talk about the phases. So you always want to make sure, like I said in the other videos, that before you look at your hazard, you always check your phase. It's either green, yellow, or red. And obviously, green is the easiest, yellow is medium, and red is the most difficult. Now that I'm on the yellow stage, if you look up close, these are the fighting values that you have to reach. And this is the number of fighting cards that you can draw. I used to be at 0, but now I'm at 1 because now I am officially on the yellow stage. So I completely ignore the green value at all costs and only look at the yellow. So I'm going to pick like normal. I think I kind of want to go with this one. 3 cards for a fighting value I need of 2. Okay, so here are some special abilities that you can do in Friday. Oh look, so my first card that I drew was double. So if you haven't noticed already, some of the cards have special abilities on the bottom below Robinson, who is a character who's deserted on this island and is trying to get off. And so these special abilities can be used at certain times or whenever you really feel like it. To use a special ability, you have to turn the card sideways. This shows that you have already used a special ability and that you cannot use it again twice. You can only use special abilities once unless it says ×2 double or ×2 draw or whatever. So this special ability is 1 times double. So that means, let's say, we'll just pick another card from here. Let's say I'm trying to get a value of 5. I only have 4 right now between these two, and that's not enough to win this hazard. So I can, instead of having this straight up and only having a value of 2 + 2 = 4, not 5, I can turn this card sideways, use this to double the value of this 2, so now it's 4 + 2 is 6, and then I win this card. It's a very useful card, especially for when you just need a couple extra points to win against that hazard. So there's that. We're going to set those off to the side. So that was double. Now, not that one, we have +2 cards. So let's say I have drawn 3 cards or whatever, and I still need more fighting points. I can then turn this card sideways, and I get to draw 2 more fighting cards for free without any additional cost of lives. So I got that one and that one. So then that will take my total up from 0 to 4, which that's a lot better. And I still didn't win over the hazard, but I don't get to lose as many lives. So that is draw 2, as you can imagine. There's also draw 1 card, which is just only drawing 1 extra card. Now we have sort 3 cards. So this one is called Vision. So whenever you draw this card right here, it has Robinson seeking into the future. You get to look in your Robinson fighting card pile. You get to take the top 3 cards, look at them. So right now I have a 2, a 0, a 0. But I have destroy, -1 phase, and 2 times exchange. I'll explain what those all mean in a little bit. But I get to rearrange and order them in whatever order I feel will be best in the next fight. And if I really wanted to, I can put one of these cards in the discard pile to put it out of play until the next round. So it's not officially out of the game, but it's out of the gameplay for now so that it doesn't affect me and my hazard. So that one is very useful so that you can get some high points in the next hazard, or you can maybe save it for another hazard. And once again, you can just turn that sideways when it wants to be used. Now, we have a 2 times exchange. So this exchange means that, let's say I have a 2 and I don't know, another 2, but I still didn't get enough total value for my fighting value that I needed, and I already drew 3 cards. I can turn this card sideways, and I get to exchange 2 cards and put them back into the deck or back into the discard pile and draw 2 more fresh cards that will hopefully be better than the other 2. But it's your risk. You might end up losing more lives like I did in this round than saving them. So that one can be a little risky, but it's very helpful if you're fighting some very hazardous hazards. So we're gonna set these back in the pile and put that off to the side. This is the same with the one exchange. This only means that you can only exchange 1 card instead of 2. All right, our next special ability is Destroy. So, like I said, oh no, I got a bad card with an awful fighting value that will not help me defeat this hazard. I can turn this Destroy card sideways, and even if I won to this hazard, so I had a total of over 5 points that I needed to win against this hazard, I can still destroy this card because it has a value of 0 and it is not all that useful to me. So I would just take that and put it out of the game. But we're not going to do that right now because I'm just showing you all what all of the special abilities can do. So the one below the pile is that you can then put one of these cards. So let's say I drew a 0. Once again, this is not all that useful to me. So I can turn sideways and just completely put this back underneath the Robinson stack at the very bottom. And then it'll come into play eventually, but it'll take the points away from this. This is extremely useful with negatives and sometimes zeros if you don't want to calculate the zeros. But keep in mind that you do not get to draw another card for one below the pile unless you have a draw a card special ability on another card. All right, next up, the -1 phase. So let's say we have all these, okay, right here. And let's say that I already drew my 3 fighting cards. Oh no, but I did not get a value over 5. I only got a value of 1. And this -1 phase card means if I turn it sideways, I get to -1 phase. So I get to go from yellow to green. Not completely, not for the whole entire round, only for this hazard card, which I am struggling with. So then if I ended up having a value of 2 instead, then it could have helped me because then I could gather this card also. But I only had a value of 1, so this card would not be very smart to be played because it wouldn't help me all that much. So you would just take the loss and lose the lives that you lost to the hazard. But it can be very useful if you have a lower value, but it's in the green value and not the yellow or red value. So you can just push it down 1 phase. And last but not least, one of my favorite powers or special abilities is ×1 copy. So let's say that you drew this card and it says +1 life. But I only have 1 life. This is my one single life left. And I played this one. I got another life, but I'm so worried that I'm not going to win against this hazard that my game might end because I might run out of lives and die. So I can use my copy and play it on a special ability which can grant me another life. So yay, I have 3 lives instead of 2. This can push me further out into the game. Yay! So I might even still be alive and might have a chance at winning the game. Alrighty, so that was all the special abilities and the changing phases. I hope that you all enjoyed because in our next video is going to be how to wrap up the game, and I hope that you will tune into that too. Thanks so much for tuning in to this Friday extravaganza of different videos. I'll see you soon, and I hope you subscribe, give tons of thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Bye!